spirits. It's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. Today I want to do this very deep video discussing Hollywood's satanic agenda. Now this video is deeper than Hollywood, but this has to do with all elites, whether any part of the entertainment business, whether it be the athletic part, music, acting, but I want to do this video discussing Hollywood's satanic agenda. Now this video is very deep. Before I begin this video, I want to say this. I want to tilt my hat to all the victims of Hollywood. The true victims. You know, all of those who kept their morality. And they didn't suck Harvey Weinstein's dick or this director's dick when they were given the opportunity. But they held strong on their morality. Now, they never got an opportunity in Hollywood, and you probably never heard of them. And because they kept their morality, they never got a shot to let the world see their talent. Now, these are the true victims of Hollywood. And we truly need a moment of silence for them. Because the victims that we have coming forth are truly not victims, but what you have are people who sold their soul and now they're mad about it. I haven't heard any forced rape cases, but what I hear is women, as well as men, accepting a certain treatment for the purposes of their career and their status. So a woman sucks this man's dick, but she says, oh, I was forced to do it because my career was in jeopardy. He used his power against me to rape me, meaning his status. And I'm a victim. No, you're not a victim. You're a person that has no morality. And being as though you have no morality, you did what is called selling your soul to Satan. And Satan is always the self. When we got to the point where men had religion of today, then the self became the Satan. But the Satan was always the self. And it's a deep thing. Now I want to do this video for you guys. But in order for you guys to truly grasp what's going on in Hollywood and all around you, right in plain sight, in order for you guys to truly grasp this, I'm going to need to break down God and Satan. Because we view God and Satan through a conditioned, influenced perspective. We view it through a religious perspective. But before religion, you had God and Satan, but it was a matter of lower self and higher self. So you have the lower self, and you have the higher self, and then you have central self. Now the higher self is the ego and the pride. And we know what goes up must come down. And the lower selves is the fears and insecurities. But anything that's at rock bottom will have nowhere to go but up. And this is the spirit. And this is the way of men. They go from their high self to their low self. And the thing is for a man to find central self and find the balance between the two. So he don't get lost into the Satan of the high or the low. So grasp. Satan rose himself above others. Is an analogy for oneself. We can all be Satan or God or balanced perfect divinity. Now Satan and God is one in the same. But it's just the duality of that same thing. Meaning the highs and the lows. A man in his pride and ego. And a man in his low fears and insecurities. It's one and the same. The man who raises himself above others will fall. And this is the story of Lucifer, our star or our sun that you see fall every night. Now, once you can grasp that and remove the religion perspective out of your mind and grasp God and Satan is that. It is a matter of one living in his self, whether it be the high state or the low state, but one indulging in self. So let's deal with the high state of the Satan, which is the self. You can live according to your morality, which is truly God's state. It's equality, it's balance and fairness. The morality of the spirit is challenged all throughout your life through the physical self. And this is the highs and lows, the egos of self, the pride and all of this. Now, once you remove the religious perspective away, then you can begin to grasp what's happening to you in real life. Because the elites, the higher ups in Hollywood, they don't believe in religion. The elites make religion from deep, ancient, Far East philosophy, which would be like chakra activation and things like this. This is basically dealing with the highest, lowest, and central self. But the elites, the higher ups, they don't believe in religion. They believe in self. That whole Aleister Crowley perspective of indulging in self, and being as though we live in a times of religion where you have God and devil and good and bad, well then Aleister Crowley's teachings are thrown into Satan, devil thing. But it's truly just a matter of one. Aleister Crowley's teachings is the teachings of self and self-indulgence and being great and above others and getting all you can get out of the physical and just being above the nature of the beast, and man eats man, and you want to be above that dog eats dog nature by being the beast of beasts, so to say, in a sense. I'm just giving you my perspective and analogy on it. I understand Aleister Crowley's teaching. Do what thou wilt. It's not all negative, but once it's a thin line between all of this. It's a thin line between a man in his higher self, meaning his ego and pride, and a man being in his lower self. The thin line is the central self, the balance. So it's a thin line between all of these. But in Hollywood, you have that religion of self, so to say. And when a person signs a contract to become a star, you have to grasp. This is where that whole concept of star came from. That story of the fallen star. So it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. Now, we call our stars stars for the same reason, because they're raised above others. But we know what goes up falls down, so it's a deep thing. Now, when people go to sign these contracts to become stars, they do not realize what they're signing. They're signing over their morality. They're signing over their self to the Satan, the physical, the indulgence. This is what signing your soul over is. Because now these people will be tempted and tested and forced to do things they do not want to. They are a slave to the contract they signed. Every star you see, they are told to act a certain way, and they have to, according to contract. And they're dressed. And if homosexuality is trending, they have to embrace this. They don't even have a choice. Genuine had a homosexual try to kiss him on live TV, and he's getting a lot of flack for this now. So you grasp my point? He cannot even not like a homosexual. He doesn't even have that choice. We don't even have that choice in today's times to say, I choose to not like homosexuality. And I don't like homosexuals. I don't want to do anything to them, but I just don't want to like them, and I want to stay away from them. We don't even have that choice. It's forced on you. Grasp how deep that is. They were trying to force Genuine to be homosexual. Trying to dig and figure out why does he only like women? As if there's something wrong with that. So y'all have to grasp how deep this is. Now stars are pulled and pushed and nudged every which way. Until they eventually turn crazy. Like Kanye West and Britney Spears. Now it's deep when you dealing with the elites in the entertainment business. Or businesses. You are dealing with the wealthy. Oprah is wealthy. Now I say that so that you can grasp all new technology the wealthy gets first. So all this clone talk and hypnotizing technology that's spoken of, a lot of it is out of context, but a lot of these things are real, but it's just spoken of out of context. Therefore you get people like, man, this is stupid talk. And then you get those that believe in it. So it's just like selling your soul to Satan. You have people that don't believe in it because they have a certain wisdom where they like, man, God and devil is religious lost man talk. But this is real, selling souls to Satan. But it's a matter of truly grasping how deep it is. It's a matter of a person's morality. Now they have certain little religious rituals they do. The elites. And it's like, you can almost look at it like voodoo. It's like a praise to self. You know, you speak a thing into existence in a sense and you get that momentum going. So they have little rituals where they kind of praise self in a sense. They also have other rituals where, you know, before you can become a big star, you have to oblige to certain things like homosexual acts, violent acts. You may have to sacrifice an animal or a person. You may have to indulge into a homosexual act. And the reason you have to do this is so that you don't later on in your life begin to get morality and then spill the beans. Now, what beans am I speaking of? I'm speaking of the lost, perverse things that rich men in power indulge in. When a man is rich, he does what he wants. He views life as his. So rich men indulge in all types of perverse things. You have Hollywood parties where there's all types of homosexual acts and all types of things happening that they wouldn't necessarily want the public to know about. Therefore, before you're brought to a certain state or status where, you know, the floodgates are open to you and you can have all you want. So you have a lot of stars who are big right now, but they truly have no talent. And you're like, how does this work? Like, why is Kim Kardashian and them so famous? They don't even have talent. I like Cardi B a lot. She ride that 5. I come from that same cloth. So I like Cardi B a lot. And I think it's good that she has the fame. But at the flip side, I know the in-depth underlying whole thing to it. But Cardi B truly doesn't have any real talent. Like, she's not a good rapper. When you get all the women rappers like Eve and Remy Ma, even Nicki, Cardi B, she don't stand a chance. Like Trina, Lil Kim, Cardi B is way out of her realm. If you talking talent-wise, like, these women can rap. They write their own shit, they nasty. Maybe they get help here and there, but whatever the case may be. But for the most part, most of them write their own shit, and they lyrically way better than Cardi. She don't stand a chance. Now, I say all of that to say Cardi is popping. And I know a lot of y'all like, how the fuck that happened? Just like in a blink of an eye. So it's deep. In order for a person to get to that realm where the floodgates are open to them, where no matter what they do, it will be big. So you have stars like that where you like, damn, whatever they do is just big. It don't even have to necessarily be good. Your Chris Browns and just your Jay-Z's, just your big stars where there's no failing. Whatever they do is just, it's an automatic pop. It's pushed out there, and it's almost like they just have this machine right behind them. Well, before you can get to that state, you have to be brought in and go through the rituals. Now, this ritual is just basically making you do something against your morality to lock you in case later on you decide to get morality. You'll think twice about spilling the beans because they have that act on you. So every Hollywood and famous rapper, not famous rapper, but the famous ones, they all have a secret on them. Not your Dame Dashes, but like your Jay-Z's, the ones that have the floodgates open. See, Dame Dash was kicked to the side because he wouldn't oblige. In fact, no offers was made to him because certain people, they know they're not going to oblige. So you're eventually blocked off because they don't want people just getting money that's not a part of their behind-the-scenes organization or religion, so to say. So they know then Dame Dash is never going to oblige to the things that are required of him. He has a sense of honor and morality that he's not going to go against. So therefore, we just blow him away. Now, he got to get brushed off because he can't just get money and not be a part of the brotherhood, so to say. Now, Jay-Z, he's going to oblige. This guy, he'll oblige. So all the famous guys y'all see, they have these little homosexual acts or either murder acts tied to them, where they sacrifice the person and they are in cahoots to someone being killed. Or they even indulge into a homosexual act. More than likely, it's both, and it's many more other things. You know, over time, your loyalty will be tested. It may start with the homosexual act. Then later on, you have to sacrifice something, and you have to keep, you know, pledging your loyalty. But the stars y'all worship and love, they all have this over their heads. And it's a very deep thing I want y'all to grasp. What's happening in Hollywood where you have all the women coming forth saying, oh, this horrible thing was done to me and that, and you like, damn, these niggas is perverse. It's a deep thing. Selling souls. All those women sold them their souls when it gets their morality for fame. And now, it's like anyone that sells their soul to the devil. Now you're bitter. Feel used up. It wasn't really truly worth it. Many of them have nothing now. They realize shit wasn't even worth it. And now they want to be the victims. But there are no victims in Hollywood. They are just Satans and those who obliged. And the true victims are those that you've never seen, because they wouldn't go against their morality. And we need to keep true notice of that, because we tend to try to look. It's so deep. Like Oprah. Oprah's the devil's handmaiden. Oprah got enough money to give every black person in America $1 million. Grasp. She don't care about y'all. She a part of the brotherhood. She got the dirt on her. That's why when Seal came forth and spoke against Oprah, I was happy. Because he kept it real. He said she know what be going on. She ain't say nothing all this time. Now all of a sudden she want to jump on the bandwagon. Like she didn't know this was happening. Women were forced to suck dick for rolls and shit. She knew this. She sucked dicks for rolls. Grasp. Oprah started from the bottom. She went through every ritual any other person went through, and she's been in this game for over 50 years. Sucking dick and going through rituals and sacrificing people's lives. And now she at a point where she one of the higher ups. And it's deep. She sat Harvey Weinstein down and told him, looks like the end of the road for you, brother. Yeah, it's a whole new wave, man. They about to blow the, what's the name off the thing, but you know, we gonna have to go with this wave now. So they all in cahoots. You got James Franco and all these different people. They like, oh yeah, I stand up for women's rights and things like this, and those that's getting getting raped and things like this, and everybody's jumping on that bandwagon as if they didn't know. Now, when I say no, I'm not talking victim-wise, because all those that sucked dicks and was put in those positions, they obliged. You weren't physically forced. They said James Franco, one of his girlfriends, said he egged her on to suck his dick while they was driving. I don't see any force. You sucked his dick because you didn't want to not be his girlfriend no more. You went against your morality because you was desperate to be his girlfriend. You could have said no, and if he would have kicked you out the car and said, I don't want you to be my girlfriend, oh well. What's wrong with that? But now he raped you. Now you're a victim. No. Cut it out. You sold your soul, and there are no victims in Hollywood, like I said. And Oprah is one of the top Satans in Hollywood. And y'all need to grasp, the people that y'all honor and y'all like and praise, they stars for a reason. That is to say, Lucifers. They the proud. They called stars for a reason. And ain't none of them good people. I want you to grasp that. Any famous star you see, especially on Oprah and them level, they are not good people. You don't want to know the things they had to do to get there. You don't want to know the morality they set aside to get there. Just like right now where Oprah gets on stage and she speaks for all the women who were molested in Hollywood. But she doesn't speak about all the women who kept their morality and didn't get a shot. The true victims. She ain't had nothing to say about them. But she want to speak about all those that were molested. Because she was one of those that sucked dick and sold her soul to get movie roles and things like this and TV shows, and she obliged, like all of those did now. So she on their side, and she like, yeah, this is not right, and let's get real. It's a deep thing. Souls is being sold, and this happens every day from the biggest to the smallest levels of life. And people go against their morality every day. And people ride waves of things they know is wrong. So it's a deep thing. When women were being put in those predicaments in Hollywood, why no one said anything then? Why did you put your morality to the side then? That's my point. You can't sell your soul and jump on bandwagon. This is what people do. When Hollywood had the power and they was able to molest people, people kept their mouth shut for sake of their own career. You see how they put others' lives to the side? You got people not getting a chance in Hollywood. They don't care. They like, it ain't my problem. You got women being forced to suck dicks and things, being invited to hotel rooms, being put in weird situations. Now, you know the average person put in that situation, they poor and they desperate to be famous, they gonna oblige. Now, I'm not cutting them no slack. You just stay poor. Why you gotta oblige? And you not obliging is how you balance the life out to where those who don't oblige get they shot. But when you oblige, you made it where those that don't oblige, they definitely ain't getting they shot. So you the reason for those that have morality not getting the shot. Because you was the one without it that said, oh, I'll suck your dick if they won't. So you truly, those that are victims now that's coming forth, they the ones that fucked over those that had morality, the real victims. But they went with the flow of things. And when they was being put in these bad positions, you had people not saying nothing about it. Oprah went with the wave of being quiet then. Now the cat's out the bag and the wave is about supporting. So you see how the stars, those y'all love, you see how they sway. When being quiet was cool amongst the stars, no one said anything. Now the public sees and it's not cool, so now they're all jumping on the bandwagon of, no, it's not cool and this is not right, and man, they got y'all so bad and they got y'all so, it's so deep. It's the Satan, the two halves of the Satan, those that sold their selves and those that offered the deal. You know how Satan brought Jesus up to the mountain and said, I'll give you all the kingdoms of the world to be yours if you just bow down and kiss my sandals. And Jesus said, no, I'm good. I can get that on my own. Nah, I'm just playing. That wasn't Jesus' thoughts. He didn't want that. He understood, if I get the whole world, then the whole world's going to swallow me up. Because this is what happens when you raise yourself above others. What goes up must come down. So y'all see how stars just, they lose themselves. Man, they hypnotizing these motherfuckers. All the new technology they get, the little cloning equipments and things like this, they test it out on them, and they just try to keep them under control. A lot of the rituals they go through, they controlling things where they brainwash the stars and just keep them under a certain vibration. A lot of stars y'all see, they change, and y'all like, damn, they look different and act different. Man, they half them hypnotized, they under the spell, and the other half is using surrogate clones. I know y'all don't realize this, but a lot of times when y'all see famous people, that's not them. That's like these new robotic, like Sophia. They got these new robots that look just like people and they interacting. Now the Sophia that y'all see, this is like the beginning models of it. But they're far past that now. They have the robots where you would never be able to tell the difference unless you stab the shit and realize like, oh, that ain't a person. But other than that, you would never notice. Now, they make these robots look exactly like the stars. And stars with a lot of money, they buy these robots. Like Johnny Depp, a lot of the politicians like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, they have these robotic surrogates that look just like people. This is why Donald Trump drinks water like that. Because that's not Donald Trump. That's his robotic. They rich. They don't got time to be coming into the public and getting killed by you crazy people. But when you see weird things like Donald Trump drinks with two hands like a weirdo, it's a reason for that. It's the robotic doing that. When you see weird things like Hillary Clinton bug out and go, oh, and you see her slowly feigning and buckling her knees and weird shit. It's the robotic doing this. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. These famous rich people, they have these robotic surrogates that they send out into the public, you know, just in case. And sometimes these things malfunction. They do stupid, weird things. But it's just so much going on. And stars are killed. And all y'all have left is that robotics. Like there's certain stars that's alive now. Like Kanye West. That motherfucker's dead. That's his robotic surrogate. It's a deep thing. When the last time you seen Kanye West with Kim Kardashian? That bitch ain't rolling with no robot, but you gotta grasp. She know what's up. Everybody know what's up. Kanye West is a different person. Once he did that rant against Jay-Z, the high-up said this motherfucker gotta go. He getting out of fucking pocket. And right after that, you had a whole new Kanye West. He was fat, blonde-haired, and acting weird as fuck. And it's just, you know, they got to get the personality down. It ain't like they got Kanye West no more too. They killed his ass. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. And they just got to adjust the robot. But it's so much horrible things happening in this life that y'all just don't realize. Now, people teach these things and they speak about them, but they speak about them in religious contexts or just in the altered state of understanding where it's not truly grasped so that you don't see these things happen in real life. It all boils down to morality. This is why I teach morality. Because y'all are watching people sell their souls to Satan. When I say Satan, it's like I broke down in the beginnings. The upper selves, the higher selves, the lower selves, and the central selves. The central self. It's basically that. And you're watching people sell their soul every minute of the day. And it's a deep thing because this thing does boil down to your death. And this is why you see them people in Hollywood going crazy now. And they all like, oh, this ain't right. And because they know where they about to die. They know what's up. They know how that go. And it's a deep thing. It's sad when you truly think about it. But a lot of y'all are thirsty to be stars. And y'all don't know what y'all signing up for. To be. You signing up to sell your soul to Satan, my nigga. It's a deep, simple thing. Every star y'all like has done it. So you just need to really realize that. They sold their soul to someone else's self and they perverse nature and way. And ever so often, their allegiance of loyalty will be tested. And it's deep. Jamie Foxx, all these high up stars, man, they are part of this, man. They have their little sex rituals. I don't want to say sex rituals, but being as though the elites, they don't believe in God and all of that stuff. They know that's for the slaves. They view life like this. You have the elites, the stars, and then you have the common folk. And all stars view themselves as above y'all. They cater to y'all desires, but they view themselves above y'all and y'all are peasants. And this is truly the nature, and this is what's pushed upon them. This is why they're told not to hang out with their old friends and things like this. They have to raise themselves up and be the star they are. And there's so much morality that's thrown to the side in the process of them becoming a star. And it's a deep thing. But what you're seeing in Hollywood, you're just seeing women trying to take rulership over Hollywood now. So it's really not a matter of them changing Hollywood and now you'll start seeing morality in Hollywood. No. But just like the women elites are going to take over now. So like the Oprahs and the high up women, they're taking over. This is a takeover. And all the men, higher up men's and the elites in Hollywood, they're getting bombarded by the women, and the women are taking over Hollywood. And this is what you're seeing, the shift in the orders now. Women are taking over. And you niggas are getting thrown to the side now, and we going to have the power. It's still going to be the same system, but women got the power now. And you niggas going to be licking ass to get a movie role. You going to be licking Oprah's fat, sweaty ass to get a role. It's a deep thing. You won't be sucking Harvey Weinstein's fat ass, sweaty nuts, but you'll be licking Oprah's fat ass and Gail's fat, wrinkled old ass. It's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. I say that with the utmost disrespect because rich people are something else, man. They know that life produces for all. Motherfucker rich got 20 poor people's wealth. Grasp that. They don't give a fuck about y'all. You got people out here starving. You got motherfuckers got way more shit than they need. What kind of shit? What kind of imbalance is that? You know how low in spirit you got to be to have $20 billion fucking dollars and motherfuckers starving in the life? How you got $20 billion yet you hear there's people that haven't ate? That means you ain't got no fucking morality. Because you got many people this rich. Why the fuck they ain't making sure people gonna always have food? This is my point. Because that ain't their problem. That's the thoughts of a rich man. I ain't got nothing to do with poor people. I give my charity to you bum ass motherfuckers. And that's that. Now the rich man is rich because of the poor. But like they said, y'all ain't they fucking problem. They gave their charity to you bum ass motherfuckers. Now pardon my language in this video. Yes, I've completed my oath. And yes, I know it is not wise of me to use this language, but I want to make my point as disrespectful as possible because this is absurd. The poor hold the rich up, and the poor so desperate to be rich so they could turn their back on what they came from, because all the rich y'all see was poor motherfuckers. And now they view themselves as different. It's so sick. I wonder what the hell Cardi B's done up until this point. Because I know she's done. Well, she's already gay, so that ain't nothing. I know she done did the little gay rituals. That's light. You see how they set them up with their boyfriends and shit? Like, when Kevin Hart got to that level, he had to shake his wife and he had to get a new appropriate. They pick every aspect of their life. He had to get a more appropriate wife. And Cardi B had to shake the little jail nigga from the gang that she fucked with. And she had to get a more appropriate husband, like Offset. Now, you know they don't know each other. But they were just paired together. And y'all just get to know each other and y'all gonna be together. And they are part of that whole, y'all call it the Illuminati, but it's just the elite government of the industry. And they little club. And when you become a part of this club, your wife, everything is picked for you, and you just have to live a certain way, and it's satanic, and it's sad, and it's moralless. They drain them of every piece of morality they have. So it first starts with, Cardi B, you need to stop hanging around with your little blood friends and get you a new boyfriend. And she goes against that morality, and of course she throws something to the little jail nigga that got out, so it won't be no conflict. But she's done with that whole aspect of life. She still promotes it and pushes it out, because that's what this whole thing is about, negativity. But as far as her being a real blood member, and nah, she don't do that stuff no more. She deals with, like, she's in Hollywood, and she deals with them. She don't deal with dusty motherfuckers from her bar. That's how she view you motherfuckers now. And it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. The stars y'all love are nothing more than the Satans of the life. It's a deep thing. Y'all look at the victims, y'all say, oh my God. Don't feel bad for them. They ain't victims. The real victims is those that never got their shot because they held strong on their morality, and they said, I ain't doing that. You can kiss my ass. You can kiss my ass, Harvey Weinstein. I ain't sucking your dick or watching you beat off. In fact, I'm telling on your ass. And you know that motherfucker got killed. There's a lot of motherfuckers that got killed and never got a shot because they kept their morality. And you know, you have like the Dave Chappelle's who said, oh, this ain't right, and they blackballed him. So you see it happening, but you know, he obliged. They blackball you out till you eventually oblige. They say, we not letting go of Dave Chappelle. He's worth too much to just let him be regular. Fuck that. He not gonna just be doing regular shows in regular clubs and still making a living, and nah, fuck that. He gonna be a part of this shit. Ain't no out of it. He not getting killed. He not nothing. He gonna be a part. Period. We gonna pressure him till he a part. However we got to do this. And that's what's been going on through the course of Dave Chappelle's success. The ups and downs of it, the going to Africa, and it's just him trying to avoid the club and repeatedly trying to find outlets. Okay, I won't be a part of your big entertainment. I'll drop my show and I'll just do little bum-ass clubs here and there, but I don't want no parts of the club. Just leave me alone. And this is what you're watching. And they keep pressing on that ass. For you, my brother, you gonna be a part. So he eventually obliges. I don't know what they did to him, but they made him oblige. And as you see, Dave Chappelle, he's back. And he doesn't have the same viewpoint anymore as he did before. For some reason, they're okay now. It's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp, but morality is a deep thing. Souls will be sold, and when one dies, they have to answer to themselves. Because it's like I said, the God and the Satan is all within self, and when you die, you have to answer to yourself. All the people you betrayed and the bad things you've done, they won't matter because you won't have a physical body to embellish in these things. So was it worth you betraying your friend for whatever physical gifts you may have gotten? Probably not, being as though it ain't of no use to you now. Explain that to Jesus. For those of you that believe in religion and you believe you're going to be judged, explain all the morality you gave away and how you justify it now and say, no, but I have to, and explain that when you in spirit and there's no body. Explain it then where you had to. Because it won't make sense then. And it's a deep thing. But this is what happened in Hollywood. It's way more deeper. But I'm just giving y'all as much as y'all can grasp. Because I know people still going to be stuck in their religions and they refuse to grasp it in its true form. Because even those in the religion, so they sold to Satan. So they judge one another and they look at themselves as above those who are not a part of their religion. And everyone's just selling their souls to some aspect of the life. The religion is the higher ups. These are the elites. And this is one avenue they have of grabbing souls through religion. Another avenue the elites have is entertainment. And they grab souls through that. And this is how it works. So, those of you in religion, you're no different than the person that sold his soul to be a star. You just got one avenue of it. Like I said, Satan has many ways to grab souls. And one way is through religion, Christianity, Islam, the many different religions you have. These are all people that sold their souls to the Satan. They just don't realize it. Just like the stars don't realize it either. They look at it as, well, this is how the business goes. So it's a deep thing. It's just like the Christian looks at it as, I know God told the Hebrews to kill all these people, but it's good when God does it. So, it's selling of the soul. And the Satan has many lanes to gather up his souls. But for the most part, y'all all sold y'all souls. So it's a deep thing. And what you have is all the soul sellers judging one another now. You sold your soul, look, and Harvey Weinstein is the devil. He made me suck his dick, but you were in bed with the devil. So what does that make you? You damn sure ain't no victim, because you was in bed with the devil for years. It's cold-blooded. But it's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. Peace and wisdom. I want to apologize for the curses that was said in the video. It was only for a certain purpose. I wanted it to sting. But in any event, I'm against that kind of nature and that kind of speaking. People need to have peace with self, pull for peace, pull to be humble, kind, and balanced, and fair in their dwellings and intermingling with others. And that's what I stand firm for. I'm not here to make myself righteous or above others. I heard someone recently said that I think I'm righteous, and I don't teach anything about righteousness. Sorry. Because you don't have morality and you're conditioned into religion, when a man speaks on morality, you confuses that with righteous talking, highness talk. I don't deal with highness talk. I deal with central self, the balance, never overindulging, not underindulging, but being fair and balanced in my way. So it's a deep thing. I don't think cursing and things like this is a good thing. But in some cases, it's necessary. But I never overindulge. So in most of my videos, I restrain from cursing. I restrain from being in chaotic fashion. I tend to keep my videos in humble, peaceful spirits. Whether you like the things I say, though, I'm always in calm, humble, peaceful spirits or joking manner. If I'm in a serious manner, or whatever the case may be, the spirit is still at peace. It's probably 4:30 in the morning. A lot of times I do my videos 4:30 in the morning. I wake up at that time. I catch the sunset. That's why the name is Pasenpaset. Sunset Solace. That's why. I watch the sunset and rise every day. It's a part of my life. I wake up with the sunset, with the sun rising, and I always catch it setting. I love how the sky looks when it sets. It's just a deep thing, but it's all a part of my teachings. But in any event, y'all are all selling y'all souls in today's times. A lot of y'all are going with things that y'all know are wrong, but y'all like, man, that's the wave, and it's deep. But it's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. Peace and wisdom.